بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Brother gave an introduction. I was telling people one time, 2 years ago, my son asked me a question. He said, "Dad, you know, you take me to all these boring meetings and rallies and demonstrations and also a lot of workshops and seminars and things of that nature. Sometimes you're in the White House, other times you're out in front of the White House getting arrested. Dad, what's your job?" And my loving wife, Miriam, looked at him and said, "Son, your dad is a professional agitator." And I remember that he goes to a Muslim school, but we have what we call a co-op program, where the Muslim schools and public schools do share programs together so kids can know one another and they don't grow up in a vacuum, etc. And so it was through the month of Ramadan, and so he said, "Dad, we're responsible for the presentation to the school system on Ramadan, and I want you to be the speaker." I said, "Of course." And so I agreed to do it. And so then his classmates selected him to do the introduction. And true to form, he came out and he said, "In the name of Allah, boys and girls, faculty, students, and friends, Assalamu alaikum," which means peace be unto you. "I would like to introduce to you today our speaker. He is indeed my dad, Imam Mehdi Bray, a professional agitator." And we laugh, but in reality, I take no deference to the concept of being a professional agitator. Because agitation doesn't always have the negative connotation that we often think about it. If you think about it, if you look throughout the history, you find all the prophets were men who agitated for better way of life, better morals, adil, justice, a better society. And they moved people's hearts. And that agitation didn't just stay stagnant. It's ironic. I use that word, I use that term stagnant, because if we look at the symbolism here, if you have stagnant water that sits in a pond, it becomes polluted and putrefied. But if water is moving, if it has what I call the agitation of motion, it also has a purifying process. And likewise, that's what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's what they did. They agitated and they stirred things up in the right way, vis-a-vis Allah, and as a result of that, people were purified within the deen of Islam. And that purification, if you think about it, spread it from just a few in Mecca to now over 1 or 3 billion people on the planet Earth. So you look at that from a religious standpoint. Then you look at it from what I call a more secular standpoint. You look at some of the people who made great contributions in history. They always were quote-unquote agitators, whether it was Sojourner Truth, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, people who made contributions within the general framework of society and made various different social transformations. Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks. All of them likewise made it. So when it comes to agitation, I really don't feel offended at all, because I think I'm in good company, alhamdulillah. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept my professional agitation in His cause, and that it will be one of my...
This, inshallah, hopefully provides a little taste, introductory taste of what Mass is and what Mass is all about. And that's part of the objective of tonight, obviously, is to introduce Mass to the Iowa community. And when mass comes into a community, as well, I'm sure our speakers will touch on, mass will come into a community and fill in gaps if there are any, and will cooperate and complement all of the good Islamic work that is being done. And with that in mind, of course, we have our staple in this community, which is the ICCR, the Islamic Center of Cedar Rapids. And with that in mind, I'd like to ask Dr. Ayman Amir to come and address us for a couple of minutes, inshallah, the Vice President of
Brothers and sisters, I would just like to welcome Mass, the brothers and sisters from Mass, and I would like to welcome the community, our own community from Cedar Rapids, from Iowa in general. And I would just like to mention two ayah from Al-Quran Al-Kareem. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. I urge my brothers and sisters to cooperate and participate in the activities that they see, and inshallah Mass is one of these organizations that will lead us, inshallah.
Former President of the Muslim American Society, and he's the current Executive Director of the Muslim American Society. And with that, I'd like to ask
already there, strengthen what is already there, and add some of our programs that we implemented them elsewhere, and they proved to be successful. Mass bring to the table a comprehensive vision and integrated programs. And our focus is more on personal generation of Muslims who will be proud of their identity, proud American Muslims. They are proud of themselves. They are not ashamed of being Muslim, or they will not be intimidated or on the defensive, but they will, and not only they will excel in their own personal lives or within the community, but also they will have an impact on the larger focuses on personal development, but our priority is youth. And we have a number of diverse and intensive programs for youth, camps, spiritual retreat, halaqa, weekly halaqa that Brother Muhammad was talking about, that is transforming our most valuable assets as a community, that is our young men and women.
Serve the community and work together with its leaders and members of the community to move our community to the next level.
What's some of the programs that we're trying to implement?
We have a very diverse programs with a focus on personal development and youth. Scouts program, youth programs,
Scout program,
personal development programs, civics, outreach, activism. It's very comprehensive and very integrated.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. Thank you for your time. All right. Assalamu alaikum. So was it a success, Imam Sah?
What size is it like? Sheikh Ibrahim, alhamdulillah. What size?